Hello all, welcome to my live stream channel on this Tuesday afternoon or lunchtime. It's 12 o'clock noon in my neck of the woods. What time is it in some of y'all's neck of the woods? And to get some things straight, I apologize if I confuse anybody. I've done a couple uploads. I'm practicing with thumbnails, just trying to do something different. I'm not trying to get off the subject of what my channel's about, because you all know it's mostly about writing, working on books and packages I got through the mail and studying it with you all together. It's just I need more people to stay in and get more views up. I'm not getting enough views. Y'all need to check it out more. And then I can probably stay more on that subject. I'm trying to find other things that work. I haven't given up. I'm not closing my channel out. That's not happening. Some days I have to take a break going live, because I'm trying to find other things to create, come up with other ideas, other niche, other brands. That takes time. It don't happen just in a snap of a finger. So to get y'all straightened out on that, I've done a couple thumbnails. I did one this morning. It's on grilled foods like shrimp and stuff like that. I like stories, thumbnails, uploads on food. But maybe I'll do more of that once I get done with Save the Cat Writes a Novel. Today, the lesson that we're discussing together, we're getting on the part Save the Cat Writes a Novel, All is Lost. Now, it talked about some of that at the beginning. It's going back to it. Last week, we was talking about the midpoint, how your characters can switch up from being a hero to a bad guy, or to a bad guy, they can turn to be good. They can change their mind. A lot of readers and viewers want to see action in their story. This is study notes, show and tell. The notes I've been taking, highlighting of what the main points that we're going to discuss about in All is Lost. Show and tell. Until people come in, there's no need to really start on them. So I'm going to sit here and view and study my notes while I wait for you all to come in. When you come in, feel free to hit that like button and comment. If it's nothing but hello there, let me know who you are. In All is Lost, what does it do? It illustrates your hero's rock bottom, lowest moment of the story. If you've been a writer, if you ever published anything or ever got your stuff sold out there to the world, you know how hard it is to write. You go through the struggles, the darkness, and the writing point. Now we're on the section All is Lost. Where does it go? Rock bottom. Your hero has finally hit it. It is a truism that no one really changes until they hit rock bottom. That's true. Because until they tried everything else, until they're lost everything that's important to them, they can't see the true path. It is a human condition, and therefore it is a hero condition, because our heroes are, if nothing else, human. That is why they resonate with us. So before our heroes can find that true path to real transformation, we have to bring them so low, so far into despair, that they have no other choice but to change. What's some things in your writing that you notice that you hit rock bottom? I'm asking some questions at the moment. What's some things that you had to change to get out of that rock bottom stage, to get back to where you need to be? Feel free to comment and share your story on that. Change the right way. No matter which direction your hero was headed in the bad guys, closing in beat, upward or downward, all heroes must eventually fall. And fall they will. They're going to fall. There's not a perfect hero out there. Even if you're using them just to be good, there's something that's got to change. It's got to break something, break into it. You want to write stuff about breakups and relationships. murder. You can write stuff about killing someone. You're the creator. You're the author of that story or that book. You're putting that story together to form to put into that book. You can do that. You can make that change. Just make sure when y'all come in, stay on. I'm still wanting to grow my watch time hours. Now I'm working on growing more up my views. You all come on and show the love. Let's hit that like button and see them views rolling up. You've seen a lot of my channels. You know I'm loyal. There's either upload or one live stream put up every week. I am going to start cutting down because I was doing live streams like 3 and 4 times in one channel in one day, so I'm kind of cutting back between one live stream a week or a day because maybe that's confusing some of you all. I love going live stream. I'm not going nowhere. I'm just doing other things and want to try other things. A lot of people are doing that. And they're growing. They're crushing their channel. Views, comments, they get more subscribers. They're actually growing. I need to get that 1,000 mark. I done passed the 100 subscribers millstone. Now I need to get up to my thousands and get more of my views. So you all show your love, and I appreciate it. And I'll do the same. That's the function of the all is lost. It is a single scene, beat, one scene or one chapter, approximately 75% of the way through the novel, in which something happens to your hero that tosses them deep, deep down into defeat. The totalitarian government arrests the hero in 1984. The king dies, leaving the hero and her family in crisis. The White Queen, the two lovers break up. You see how that changes? What the all lost is, the breakup. It had to be you. Justice is not served. The hate, the give, the killer strikes someone closest to the hero. The memory man. The hero discovers that the love of the life is already married. Jane Eyre, the hero is betrayed by someone they trust. The Da Vinci Code, whatever it is big, even bigger than the catalyst. It seems insummable. Your hero must be worse off than they were at the start of the book. All really does seems lost. And I'm going to stop right there because so far no one's come in yet. Been on 8 minutes and 48 seconds. This is why I don't go on early. To me, this is kind of middle of noon. I figured it's the perfect time to go live. So I'm going to sit here and wait just like I've been doing. And I'm honest. It gets frustrating when you sit here doing it. You can't talk to yourself. I'm just basically reviewing it out loud, waiting on people to come in. So when y'all come in, we'll get this started on this show started. This channel going. If I don't get enough people coming in and staying, then it tells me you don't get a lot of views. So all I can do is try it. It's like all you all can do is try. And a lot of you are growing. You're making it. So when you come in, make sure you hit that like button and comment a hello. I'm still here. Let y'all check out my terps if they're awake. Gizmo's sitting there chilling. I think Daisy's sleeping now. She was awake early this morning. These are my terp babies. Check them out. I'm here. Just waiting on some people to come in. You all come on. Sit here waiting. Come on in. Welcome to my channel. Come on in. Hit that like button. You know what to do when you come on my live stream or my uploads. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. If you got questions, if you're confused about anything, drop it down in the comment or on this live stream. We're here to help each other out, help each other grow, learn from each other, find out what works, what doesn't work. I know it takes some time for people to get on here, but I still think it's got to do with where we're living at, our time zone. So I'm trying to figure it out. I don't always get it accurate, but some of y'all caught me on here. It might have been halfway through the live stream, but you made it. I want to see results and see y'all come on and hit that like button. Leave that comment. We'll get this started on the Save the Cat Writes a Novel, All Is Lost. And the past couple of weeks we was on The Bad Guys Closes In. Now we're getting to the part where All Is Lost section. We have to break it down in sections because you'll get confused with this book. And we're going to do it until the end of it. We're getting there slowly. A lot of people's ahead of me done already finished their book. I'm taking it slow. I'm going through sections and steps with this. It can get very confusing. You can get lost with this book. And we can study and have discussions together as I'm going live. And this will help each other. It'll help you, and it also helps me. You decide to write your first song or your first story. This book here will help you get through it and get done what you need to get completed as far as your goals with it. Are you all still keeping up with your goals? Are you following your goals? Are you still taking notes? Some of my live streams uploads, I tell y'all to take some note taking, take notes. Without them, you'll be everywhere. You'll be confused, even on your own channel. And now I'm back toward me. If you come in, make sure you hit the like button. I'm going to get me my glass of tea. I'll be right back. It tells me to keep doing what I'm doing. All my channels about food. Come in, make sure you hit the like button in case y'all didn't see me or heard me before. Come in and hit the like button. If you enjoy a good cold tea on a warm, weak, hot day, cheers. I done had my 2 cups of coffee. Now I'm drinking tea, Louisiana. Cheers. Where y'all at? I'm on here. Where you at? Let's go, guys. If you subscribe me and click that bell, you should know I'm going live. Might close out. Ain't nobody coming in. Keep doing what you're doing. That's okay. Trying to wait there. Nobody can come in. Anything back on that? Share anything back on that? Share. Mm. I see too many writers in my workshops try to tiptoe around the all is lost. They're afraid to do something really awful to their heroes. Don't be afraid. Kill people, fire people, break people up. If your all is lost isn't big, and I mean big, your final transformation will feel contrived. It won't be believable. Rock bottom means rock bottom. All is lost. So how do we make sure that Beats is as epic and moving and transformative as it needs to be? That's a question. We're going to get to that. We insert something called the whiff of death. Nothing spells despair more than death itself. So this is the point in stories where a lot of characters die or almost die. I'm not trying to sound callous here. It's just the way it is. In The Fault in Our Stars, Augustus dies at the all is lost. In Me Before You. Will tells Louisa that despite her efforts, he has not changed his mind about ending his own life. In Room by Emma Dogenal, Ma tries to commit suicide in memory man. Amos Decker contemplates suicide. In The Hunger Games, Rue is killed. If you ever watch the movie Hunger Games, you see all the killings and different, all is lost, just even in certain games, people get killed off in movies. Works the same way with your story in All Is Lost. The hero's going to fall at some point. They're going to fall. They're going to reach that all is lost point. This is getting good. I love this book, and I hope you all are loving it and enjoying it and learning something as I am. It's a lot to take in with this book, and it can confuse you. That's why we study it together and break it down. Just look at some of your favorite books. Find the all is lost and see for yourself. So many characters die in this beat, particularly mentors. Killing of a mentor character as the all is lost is especially effective because it forces the hero to do the rest on their own. It forces them to look deep inside and realize that they have the answers, the power, the ability, the force in them all along. It's not until Preacher Cassie is killed in the Grapes of Wrath that Tom Joad finally realizes his true purpose is to continue Cassie's teachings and help mankind. And even if there's not an actual death in this beat, there's a hint at death. There's a whiff of it, like a dead plant in the corner, a dead fish in the fishbowl, maybe even death of an idea or a project or relationship or business. In Something Borrowed by Emily Griffin, there's a death of lifelong friendship there. When y'all come in, make sure you hit the like button and throw in a comment. Even in the comedy Confessions of Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella, there's a whiff of death in The All Is Lost when Becky tries to buy something only to find that all her accounts have been frozen and the cashier confiscates her card. It is a death of her credit. There's a certain part of death somewhere. It can be a death of a relationship, a death of a family pet that you had for years in your family. Basically, something must end here because the all is lost is where the old world character way of thinking finally dies. So a new world character way of thinking can be born. It can be recreated. When one dies, you can create another one. I like to think of all the loss as yet another catalyst. It's an action beat that serves a very similar function to the catalyst beat in Act 1. If the hero catalyst pushed your hero into the debate and then into the break into 2, then the all is lost will be push your hero to the dark night of the soul, and finally into the break into 3. And even though whatever happens in the all is lost is happening to your hero, it should be at least somewhat your hero's fault. Why? Because the stubborn fool still hasn't learned the theme. Your hero's internal bad guys have been working behind the scenes, tripping them up, causing them to make mistakes, and now it's led to disaster. Even if the action itself isn't their fault, their dismal predicament is. If that helps you understand what we went over so far. More show and tell, doing notes, jotting, highlighting things. It's really important in this book. These are all my notes. Been on 20 minutes and 28 minutes and 40 something seconds. Still waiting on people to come in. Y'all come on in. Hit that like button. In the Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Greg is completely to blame for the end of his friendship with Rowley. He's been a bad friend. He hasn't yet learned the theme of taking responsibility. In Pride and Prejudice, although Lydia makes her own decision to run away with Mr. Wickham, if Elizabeth hadn't been so prejudiced against Miss Wickham's, true the whole thing. The hero learned, right? If the hero responds, then how they going to learn a lesson and what lesson's going to be learned to that? And that is the whole point of the all is lost. Now your hero has nothing else to do but wallow in their defeat and reflect upon their choices and their life. Little do they know that that it'll be the most powerful life-changing reflection they ever done. And then we'll be working on 12, Dark Night of the Soul will be the next section. I just hope y'all had a great weekend. You done something productive, something inspiring. You might have set some cleaning goals and got them done. We done a little bit of work in the yard. My youngest daughter come down on her weekend. Did a lot of errands. Went and got some stuff from Marketplace, from other places. So we had a pretty good busy weekend. And you all know I don't do a lot of live streams on weekends. If something I want to share or update or something, I do that once in a while. But most of my live streams or uploads is during the weekdays. And I hope you all enjoyed this Save the Cat Writes novel as much as I did. This is where I left off, where I got it marked. Where I left off and where we're at. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment either after this live stream or if you come on while I'm still live, throw the comments in the live stream section in the chat box. That will be great. You're reading. I just did a practice, like rehearsing for this. I'm just waiting on more y'all to come in. When it hits that hour mark, I'm going to go and end the live stream. Y'all come on. I got other things I can be doing right now. Other uploads on grilled foods. I like grilled foods. I know bacon and grilled things is much healthier for you than just fried. The grease and everything is not good for you. It causes high cholesterol, plaques that builds up in your arteries. So grilling food and baking it is much healthier. I did an upload yesterday. I did a live stream yesterday. You all go check it out. It's on the tea leaves and devotion. This morning I did upload another one on grilled foods. Check it out. Feel free to throw in them likes and comment. If you have any questions, there's nothing really confusing about it. It's a thumbnail of food. It says in the description what it is. It's grilled shrimp or grilled side things. It's explanatory. But you all know most of my channel is about writing, discussions, working with Save the Cat Writes a Novel, or the Dr. Grammar's discussions. I'm working in 2 of those books. Anything you're confused about on my channel, please comment and let me know. We'll clear it up, okay? The midpoint, basically, of the section of Save the Cat Writes a Novel, basically what that's talking about is to raise the stakes of the story. You're putting more plotting and more action and um, more bad things, all the loss, all that mixing in with the midpoint. And basically what it is, the midpoint is the culmination of whatever path you chose for your fun and games. because essentially the whole goal of the fun and games is to drive the story toward the midpoint and to give the midpoint definition. If your hero is shining in the upside down world, if things are generally working out well for them aside from a few bouncing balls, and Act 2 is proven to be pretty decent place, then you ultimately have a false victory in your midpoint. That gives you an idea again to review and explain what the midpoint is of your story, or if you're trying to use it to break it down in your characters. Why is it called a false victory? Because the novel is only halfway finished. If your hero were to really win here, the book would be over at the midpoint. Why else is it a false victory? Why haven't they really truly won? Because your hero still hasn't learned their theme. When they learn their theme and get past that, it goes on to other midpoints. They don't understand her. Whereas Will, whom she's known for only a few months, clearly does. By the midpoint in the Martian, Mark's harvesting his potato crops. It looks like he will have enough food to last until he can be rescued, and he is able to communicate with NASA, even receive emails from his family. All things are considered. Mark's outlook is pretty good. He's achieved all of the smaller goals from the first half of the book: to grow food, to communicate with the earth. But his larger essential goal of getting off the planet is still yet to be realized, as his internal goal theme of conquering his fears. That was his theme. Till he got past that, he couldn't move on to the next thing. That's just going back a little bit, reviewing a little bit more of the midpoint. So we talked about that last week. And then the bad guys closes in. Now we're on 12. 11, All Is Lost, fixing to be on 12. Dark Night of the Soul, where the darkness peeks in of the characters, where the All Is Lost. Okay, where you at, Wayne? I don't see you. Don't see you, friend. Where you at, David? Where's all the people y'all supposed to be sending my way? And I've been on here for 43 something minutes. Not a single peek or anybody's come on yet. Y'all come on. Come show your love. Spread the love. I do it the same for you all. Maybe they're having some internet problems. I don't know. A lot of people are. But I don't need to go any further if I'm just sitting here reading just to myself, you know. That's no fun. I need people coming in and staying in so I can get more views and more watch time. Probably a lot of people's looking at my upload. That seems to be doing great right off. I do great uploads. I got a better phone, iPhone 5S. It does good with uploads. But because I haven't reached my 1,000 gold millstone yet, I can't do upload on my phone. So I have to do it on my computer. But I can do uploads all day long. I can share and post other things. And I'm getting the hang with my iPhone. It's taking some time. I'm getting the hang of it. Some of you all have one and familiar with it, you can share some extra shortcuts and tips. Hello, welcome to my live stream. You finally made it here. I've been on here for 44 minutes and not nobody come on. I just basically was rehearsing and studying it out loud till waiting people come in. We'll come back on. I get a peek and they leave. How nice. I bet if I had 2 people already on here, people would stay more. That's okay. Hurry back. There'll be others. And I'm not going to lie. I'm an honest person. It gets frustrated trying to do these live streams and come up with projects and being creative, and then you don't see much views. Or I'll admit, it's very frustrating sometimes. But I'm not giving up. I'm still here. I made it. You finally made it, Wayne. Welcome. Maybe something happened to your internet. Was that you just come on and went back out? I've been on here for 46 minutes live. I don't think half the people that supposedly subscribe to me hasn't clicked that bell. I think that's why that I'm not getting a lot of views or catching a lot of people. They're not hit that bell or whatever. So that wasn't you. I guess that was a peek in then just a few seconds ago. They peeked in and just walked right out. But you'll have that. I'll get started on this in just a few minutes. Before, I was just basically doing the rehearsing of it, waiting on people to come in. Now we might can get started. But I need more than 1, 2, or 3 people. I want my live streams to fill up. I can still get watch time with just 1 or 2 people in, but in order to grow your views and more on your channel, you got to get more people in here. You got some names for me? Who's that? And I'll write them down, that way I can keep up with them. I'll get to it when some more people comes in. I guess maybe Tuesdays might be like slower day of the week than any day of the week. I don't know. I do different things with my writings because I feel like people get bored with it. And I do it. Pretty much you see a lot of live streams or uploads with this right here. But I don't have enough view counts. I need more than just 1 or 2 here and there, 5. It needs to build. And some of my videos has been on for months. It's still the same views as it went up. But no, I'm not quitting my channel. I never said I was quitting, but sometimes I take breaks. It's good to do that because it's very frustrating to do. Yeah, I'm going to write them down. Hang on. It keeps showing that you're not in here. It keeps showing that you're not live, so I'm hoping you're still here. A lot of people has trouble with their internet. I think Unboxing's got his computer in the shop. Because he was supposed to send me an editor, another software to help me with my YouTube banners and thumbnails, and his computer somehow either froze up or it messed up on him. So I haven't seen him much in a few days, in a while. Hopefully he'll get his computer fixed. A lot of people's having trouble with their internet, their software, just different things. Do they speak in English? I need more people that speaks English. I don't really know what they're saying half the time. I need people that speaks in English. Just, just kind of local, but not like next door to me. I need people that's writers, bloggers, is into doing what I like doing. Send more names at me. I need more writers and bloggers my way, because that's what I do. But I do different things. I do how-tos. I ask questions and want you all to participate in answering the questions on my channel. I'm practicing with uploads on grilled foods with the thumbnails, just different things, not to throw people off. It still doesn't change me as being a writer and doing discussions and studying together on Save the Cat Writes a Novel. This time around, we're on the section called All is Lost. Stay tuned, because I'm waiting on more people to come in. If more people comes in, that helps get your views and probably more subscribers. I wanted to speak English and not be next door, but kind of local to me, not so far out across the globe. And I want some that's got to do with writers or storytelling or just inspiration, things like that. People want to go really to your channel live stream if they feel like you got something in common with them. If you don't have nothing in common with them, they're not going to really stay. They're not going to really interact with your channel. It's got to be something that they have in common with you as well. If they don't have stuff in common, I mean, like y'all, you and David, your brother, y'all support me, but like Rochelle, Michelle L, Mama Foxy or Floxy, they ain't been back on my channel. They're subscribed to me. They seen a few of them and caught me live, but they haven't been back, been supportive. But that's okay. You lose subscribers and you gain them. It comes and goes. While you list them, I'm going to be jotting them down. And as you get them, if they got time, send them to my channel. Get them to review it, even after it's done and over with. You can also get them just to come in there and show their love and review and comment. Do you have to, when you look them up, do you have to write it out the way you got the names written? It's written just like that, the same way. Make sure I get the names properly written out. Okay. That's awesome. I appreciate that. These little few help me out, I guess, maybe. But if it's not the same thing as my niche or my brand on my channel, they might not like my channel. It's not that I wasn't giving up. Some days I'm not in the mood to go live. If I don't feel it, I don't go live. I'll do an upload or something like that. I got to be able to feel it. Hurry back. Okay, I appreciate that. Hurry back. Anybody else, feel free to come on and hit that like button. It's already 12:54. I want to get this going and get this done, and so I can do other projects. I mean, I appreciate you helping me, showing your support, but as I say, one or two or three people is not going to grow your views audience. They might view it, but it's not going to actually grow more your subscribers and views. Except for this month alone, I got over 7,000 watch time minutes. So now I got to work on getting my 1,000 subscribers. And you fans out there, you supporters, y'all can make it happen. It's like I can do it for your channel. Till more people come in, there's no need to go on with this studying or with this book, because there's not enough people on right now. The only person that showed her support so far today is Wayne. I give you thumbs up. Thank you, my friend. Everything that you do for me. You get noticed, you get a shout out. And what I mean by my shout out is recognizing who is staying true to my channel and follow me. If you don't stay true to my channel, I'm not going to stay true to you all's channel. It's only fair. It is only fair. Make sure you all hit the like button when you come in. That helps draw more viewers. I've been on so far 56 minutes, not quite an hour, maybe a half an hour. And usually by now, people be coming in at least 2 or 3 to 5 people. I want to grow. I want to see like 110 people viewing me. I'm getting better at this. I'm not the greatest, but I've come a long way since when I first started this live stream. When I first started really getting into creating my channel. I've come a long way. I want to grow and I want to see results. I want to see my views grow. I want to see my subscribers continue growing and staying there. I think either Video IQ or YouTube or something's having something to do with that. And I'm doing the best I can. That's all we can all do. You got to put out there what works. It's got meaning. It's teaching. You're asking questions, how to. You're telling people to set goals. You tell people to believe in yourself. Always believe in yourself. Believe that you can and you will succeed. It's frustrating. It's not easy. Some days are better than others when you go live. Some days it ain't good at all. But until people come on there, it's like it's a waste of time if you're just seeing 0 on the whole time you're going live. I got 1 to come in. Now it's back to 0 again. If he's leaving out, I don't think it's going to give me credit. You got to stay in here. At least 10 minutes of my live stream. And you hit the likes when you come in. This is how we all grow. I'll throw a few different ones up on my channel, but don't let it scare you off or scare you away. Sometimes I do things different. It's not always live stream about Save the Cat Writes a Novel. It's other things. It's uploads on foods, grill foods. Grill foods are very healthy for you. Welcome to my channel who just come on. Make sure you hit the like button. We're going to be discussing Save the Cat Writes a Novel, All is Lost. But until more people come in and stay, I'm going to put it on hold. Hello, David. Welcome to my channel. How's your Tuesday going? Good afternoon to you. Make sure you hit the like button every time y'all come on. That's supposed to help with the views. My things is down now is my view count. I need to reach that 1,000 subscriber mark, and I need to get my views up. I believe I'm getting a good bit of watch time, but I need more views and people staying on. Your brother thought I was giving up going live. It's just sometimes I like to take breaks. I go on different times. It's not the same time because I'm trying to get the other people that's had recently subscribed me last week or just this month alone. I'm trying to fit in through their time zone. It's very difficult when their time is not the same as mine. Welcome back, Wayne. But this section is talking about All is Lost and Save the Cat Writes a Novel. Are y'all ready for it? We talked about part of the mindset, or I mean the midpoint, And now it's going from midpoint to the all is lost section. Here we go. What does it do? It illustrates your hero from rock bottom, the lowest moment of the story. Where does it go? Rock bottom. Your hero has finally hit it. It's a truism that no one really changes until they hit rock bottom. Because until they tried everything else, until they lost everything that's important to them, they can't see the true path. It's a human condition, and therefore it is a hero condition. Because our heroes are, if nothing else, human. That is why they resonate with us. So before our heroes can find that true path to the real transformation, we have to bring them so low, so far into despair, that they have no other choice but to change. All right. That'll be fine, Wayne. I appreciate it, everything you're doing. Thank you. No matter which direction your hero was headed in the bad guys closes in beat, upward or downward, all heroes must eventually fall. And fall they will. Y'all hurry back. That's the function of the all's loss. It is a single scene beat, one scenes or one chapter, approximately 75% of the way through the novel, in which something happens to your hero that tosses them deep, deep down into defeat. The totalitarian government arrests the hero in 1984. The king dies, leaving the hero and her family in a crisis. The White Queen. The two lovers break up. It had to be you. Justice is not served. The hate you give, and the killer strikes someone close to the hero. The memory man. The hero discovers that the love of her life is already married. Jane Eyre. The hero is betrayed by someone they trust. The Vinci Code, whatever it is big, even bigger than the Catalyst. It seems insurmountable. Your hero must be worse off than they were at the start of the book. All really does seem lost. I see too many writers in my workshops try to tiptoe around the all is lost. They're afraid to do something really awful to their hero. Don't be afraid. Kill people, fire people, break people up. If your all is lost, is it big? And I mean big. Your final transformation will feel contrived. It won't be believable. Rock bottom means rock bottom. All is lost. So how do we make sure this beat is as epic and moving and transformative as it needs to be? We insert something called the whiff of death. Nothing spells despair more than death itself. So this is the point in stories where a lot of characters, they almost die in their certain midpoint of their story. I'm not trying to sound all callous here. It's just the way it is. In The Fault in Our Stars, Augustus dies at the all is lost. She dies. In Me Before You, Will tells Louisa that despite her efforts, he has not changed his mind about ending his own life. In Room by Emma Doganog, Ma tries to commit suicide. In Memory Man, Amos Decker contemplates suicide in the Hunger Games. Rue is killed. She's killed off there. Just look at some of your favorite books. Find the All is Lost and see for yourself so many characters die in this beat. Particularly mentors, killing of a mentor character at the All is Lost, especially effective because it forces the hero to do the rest of their own. It forces them to look deep inside and realize that they had the answers, the power, the ability, the force in them all along. It's not until Preacher Casey is killed in the grapes of wrath that Tom and Jode finally realizes his true purpose is to continue Casey's teachings and help mankind. All right, welcome back again. A lot of people's having trouble with their Wi-Fi and their connections. I understand. Welcome back again. Let's get deeper in this. If you're confused about any of this that I've studied so far through this book, feel free to ask away. Figure out what question you want to ask, and we'll try to get the answers and results from it. If there's no questions, I'll continue on. And even if there's not an actual death in this beat, there's a hint at death. There's a whiff of it, like a dead plant in the corner, a dead fish in the fishbowl, maybe even the death of an idea or project or relationship or a business. In Something Borrowed by Emily Griffin, there's a death of a lifelong friendship that died off. There's death to it. Even in the comedy Confessions of Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella, there's a whiff of death in The All is Lost when Becky tries to buy something, only to find that all her accounts have been frozen, and the cashier confiscates her card. It's the death of her credit. Her credit died off. It's the death of that. There's several ways that certain things can happen in your story to put in that all is lost action in there. Basically, something must end here because the all is lost is where the old world character away of thinking finally dies, so a new world character away of thinking can be born. I like to think of the All is Lost as yet another catalyst. It's an action beat that serves a very similar function to the catalyst beat in Act 1. If you remember when we started out in Act 1, it talked about the certain beats of that certain character, the hero in Act 1. If you remember me discussing that about a month or so ago. If the first catalyst pushed your hero into the bait and then into the breaks into 2, then the All is Lost will push your hero to the dark night of the soul and finally into the break into 3. And even though whatever happens in the All is Lost is happening to your hero, it should be at least somewhat your hero's fault. Why? Because that stubborn fool still hasn't learned the theme. Your hero's internal bad guys have been working behind the scenes. It still connects with the bad guys as well. It falls behind the scenes, tripping them up, causing them to make mistakes, and now it's led to disaster. Even if the action itself isn't their fault, their dismal predicament is. You see the difference there? You see how that changes? Something has to change. It has to be, someone has to die. It has to be a change of something. And if you don't come up with that theme, you're not going to find the all that's lost. It's going to be something missing. In the Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Greg is completely to blame for the end of his friendship with Riley. He's been a bad friend. He hadn't yet learned the theme of taking responsibility. Okay, what, Wayne? What you okaying about there? He's been a bad friend, hasn't yet learned the theme of taking responsibility. In Pride and Prejudice, although Lydia makes her own decision to run away with Mr. Wickham. If Elizabeth hadn't been so prejudiced against Mr. Darcy, she would have realized Mr. Wickham's true character earlier and possibly prevented the whole thing. The hero must be in some way responsible. Otherwise, there's no lesson to be learned. And that is the whole point of the All is Lost. Now, your hero has nothing else to do but wallow in their defeat and reflect upon their choices in their life. Little do they know that it will be the most powerful, life-changing reflection that they ever do. It's going to make a big total change in their story, their piece. And then the next section, when we get to it, will be on 12, Dark Night of the Soul. This is where I stopped at. What does it do? It shows how your hero reacts to all is lost and how they eventually break through to a resolution. They make a break point through on this one. This beat takes us to the end of Act 2 when we get on this section. We want to jump too far ahead because it throws people off. That's why I break it down in sections. If the all's lost is another catalyst, then naturally the dark night of the soul beat is another debate. After hitting rock bottom, what does your hero do? What does your hero do? What does anyone do? They react. They do something about it. They react to it. They think about everything that happened. They ponder. They contemplate. They try to make decisions about it. And they wallow. Like in self-pity, they wallow. I like to call the dark night of the soul the wallowing beat, because that's pretty much what heroes do here. They sit around or walk around feeling hopeless and sorry for themselves. And there is often rain involved. Jane runs away from Thornfield Hall and nearly starves to death. Jane Eyre, Katniss mourns Ruth's death by burying her in flowers. The Hunger Games, Winston wallows in his jail cell, uncertain of his future. That's in 1984. Louisa sits in her room for days, refusing to come out, me before you. She just sits there and locks herself away. Now all heroes wallow. However, some get angry, like Star, and they hate you. Who after finding out justice won't be served for Callie, just wants to riot and destroy. Some slip into a denial, like Greg in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid. He went in a certain denial stage. He had to overcome it and get out of that. Who tries to convince himself he's better off without his best friend, which was Rowley, by hanging out with someone else. Your hero's specific reaction depends solely on who your hero is as a person. You have to know who that hero is as a person. How do they react to this low point in their lives? The All is Lost was a single scene beat. It was a single scene beat. It happened fast. It was one scene or one chapter, and then it was over. Now your hero needs time to process it all. It's got to go through all these emotions and get around it and process it. That's why the Dark Night of the Soul is in multiple scene beats, more than one. So don't get confused on the act beats 1 and 2 that was trying to get involved with the All Is Lost. You get several scenes or chapters to show how your hero is dealing with their defeat. But it's not just wallowing or rotting in the rain. The dark night of the soul has a very important and useful function. It's the darkness before the dawn, if you understand what that means there. It is the moment before the big breakthrough realization happens. It's the last moment before the real change occurs. If that helps break that down a little bit. It's actually a learning book. It's a study guide as writers. This is discussing on how to create more characters in your story. How the heroes can go from good to bad. It's learning the beats of it. Finding out the flaws within them. What they're doing. Are they changing the theme? If their theme's not going nowhere, they're not making a change of it. The hero wants to decide to turn good and wants to be a bad person. You're putting all other twisted plots into it. It's making a change in something. It is the last moment before the real change occurs, right? That is why most revelations and stories happen in the beat, during what I call the dark night epiphany. The final clue falls into place. The hero sees something in a new light. The truth they failed to see all this time suddenly becomes clear. The light comes on, boom. Lots of mysteries, and both mysteries and other types of novels get solved right here in the dark night of the soul. In David's Balkanum's Memory Man, at the end of the dark night of the soul, is when Amos Decker finally realizes why he has been targeted by the killers. The last piece of the puzzle was Confessions of a Shopaholic. The end of the dark night of the soul is when Becky Bloomwood discovers that the Flagstaff Life is a major financial institution and has been scamming its investors. So even though your hero is pretty down and depressed about their life right now, something deep inside of them is working, analyzing, and processing. They're breaking down their life and looking at their choices. They're thinking about everything they tried thus far and failed to achieve. They slowly come into an ultimate conclusion, which is why, similar to the debate, the dark night of the soul will often revolve around a question. What will the hero do now? That's the question. What are they going to do now? How will they cope with this despair? How will they break into three? After time, Jode kills the preacher, Casey's killer, and the great Seraph. The dark night of the soul questions becomes, what will the Jodes do now? After Mark loses contact with NASA, the dark night of the soul questions becomes, how will he get himself to the Ares 4, the site to Rendezvous? How's he going to get with his crew? These are all questions you have to ask yourself. These are part of the study notes. You break it down, you'll get to the answer. You'll get results. This is also the one beat in the novel where your hero is allowed to move backward instead of forward. I call it the return to the familiar. After Becky Bloomwood has reached her financial and emotional rock bottom. In Confessions of a Shopaholic, she goes to her parents' house where she feels safe. After Louisa, Clark storms off, leaving Will at the airport. And me before you. She just left him there. She moves back in. What? She moves back in with her family. So that's going through a little breakup. The olive's lost the feet. She's going through a breakup, so she's moving back home to her family. If possible, take your hero back to where they started. Reunite them with an old friend. Get them back together with an ex. Give them the old job back. Somehow return them to their original status. Quote, Act 1 life. Because when you're wallowing and feeling lost, it's only natural that you start searching for something familiar and safe, right? But here's the clincher. It doesn't feel familiar and safe anymore. And it certainly doesn't feel the same. A return to the familiar essentially shines a giant spotlight on how much your hero has already changed. They're no longer that Act 1, the cis person anymore. They're going through the upside down antithesis world and has altered them. Therefore, inserting them back into that Act 1, the world only exaggerates how much it's altered them. They feel like a complete stranger in a place that once felt familiar to them. This points out to the hero and the reader that they don't belong there anymore, that they can't go back to the way things were. That is time to make the rough choices. It is time to rip off that Act 2 Band-Aid, face the deep wound underneath, and finally start to heal it. It's time to make the real change. Now we're back to be on Act 3 in the sections of the Dark Night of the Soul. We're nearly there. We reached the third and final act, also called, it's a thing, I cannot say that word, but it's spelled Synthesis, if y'all can pronounce that. Synthesis, word I can't get out. But anyway, y'all should know what that is. Remember, Act 1 was that word again, or the status, quote, world in Act 2 was the part section of the upside down world. In the Act 3 is that word again, it's the fusion of those two worlds. They had a confusement there. Here's another way I like to look at it. Who's the hero was in Act 1 plus what they learned in Act 2 equals who they will become. Now we're going to find out what they're going to become in a section of Act 3. If the midpoint was the crossroads of all things, then this final act is the blending of all things. The hero will combine their Act 1 self with their Act 2 self to create a brand new and improved Act 3 self. Friendships are repaired. They can break up, but they can repair itself. Relationships are mended. Jilted lovers are reunited. The A and B stories will meet again, but this time they will intertwine and become one. It's the ultimate combination, the fun excitement of the external story, combined with the knowledge and wisdom of the eternal story to create a dynamic, engaging, and powerful third act that will resonate and leave your readers breathless. And we're going to stop right there because when it jumps on the Act 1, 2, and 3, from the all is lost to the dark side, the part of the soul, you know, it kind of blends in. It goes to different sections. It throws some people off. And that's why I break it down in sections like I do. It's important to do that because you will get confused in this book. I still do at certain times. When I go back and I edit and I review my live stream or all the uploads or videos I've done, I go back and review it. And I see something different. I learn something new with it. It's a lot of stuff in here to learn. I'm still not learning all at once. I have to go back and do my notes and go back and review it. See how far I become. You know, what I put in with my pieces, what I've used out of it. What I've learned with the pieces I've used. I've learned a lot with structuring my character. Bringing my characters more alive. It's got drama into them. It's not all about happy, joy, joy. There's some twisted seams into it. That's what your readers want to see. They don't want to hear about happy, joy, joy all the time. They want to see drama and action, people getting killed, friendships dying, relationships breaking up. They want to read stuff about magic and witches and ghosts. It's all about the theme and how you change it up as well. And then you can go back and add it in one. You can create those people and make them come back together. That relationship that was broke up, they can mend back together. That friendship. I mean, I'm telling you what. It's a lot of stuff in here. A whole lot of it. Hope y'all enjoying it so far. How do I spell it? SYNTHESIS. I see it many times through writers. It was one of my words. I did a how to learn a certain term words this year. I went live on that or done an upload on it, and I just couldn't pronounce it. I will get better. It's just going to take me a while to get all these words out. But you don't get better until you practice with it, till you sound them out. And I tried, and I just didn't do too good on that word. Where's everybody at? Y'all come on in. Hit the like button when you come in. Hope y'all had a great day so far. Hope y'all had a great weekend. My weekend was pretty good. Still working in the yard. It's got a lot of work to do. While it's been dry, we got a lot of more trees and limbs cut down. We got a lot of more grass cutting. We got to collect some peaches off of fruit trees. We got all kind of fruit trees in our yard. Managed to get some fruit trees, some peaches off my fruit trees, and stuff like that. And done a lot of back and forth studying and reading all weekend. Okay, it's SYN, N as in nest, T as in tree, H as in her, E as in egg, S as in snake, I as in Indian, S as in snake again. SYNTHESIS. I'll type it in if you don't get it this time. Let me type that in again. I'll just type it in for you. Did I type that right? I might have left the letter off. 1 minute. SY. That's good. Keep up the good work, Dave. There's nothing wrong with that, my friend. You have to make and do what you got to do with your goals and projects too. Proud of you. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work there, friend. Right now, I'm just highlighting the things I just went over. So I don't make sure I don't do repeats unless I'm just doing a discussion or reviewing, or I might ask questions or something like that. If any of y'all have any questions so far, which it ain't but two on here, feel free to ask away. If you're confused about anything I went over, just say the cat writes a novel. Ask away and let me know if you're confused. I won't know until you all tell me. And we'll find the information and we'll get results. We'll get those questions and get those answers answered in. There is a lot of stuff studying in here. You have any questions from last week where we went over a section about the midpoint in your story? Ask questions, ask away. If you're new, come to my channel, welcome. Make sure you come in, hit the like button, and comment a sweet short hello. That way I know who you are when you come in. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm all about inspiring, growing, helping newbies, new people writing. I'm all about all those things. But I'm now officially done. Pretty much with the all is lost and the dark night of the soul. So we're getting through, halfway through it, but we're getting there. That's the main point. We stick to our goals, stick what we like doing, and just keep up working hard, finding new ways, new ideas, and just keep creating. We are our own creators. In case some of you got confused what midpoint is, we'll go back a few pages and we'll view what midpoint is. Midpoint is basically is a victory. Whatever something happened, it's something you're going steady with, a downward path. To all is lost is meaning things are getting progressively worse for your hero, or more and more bad things are starting to happen. That's what the midpoint part is. The midpoint, their victory, it was false. The hero didn't actually win. They only thought they won. That's certain, gives you an idea. And it just basically, it breaks certain things down. And the only way to know about certain words is look them up. That's what I have to do. I come across a word, I'm reading it, but I don't understand what that word is. I have to look it up, whether I can pronounce it or not, That's just what we have to do. And I hope y'all enjoyed it so far. It's inspired you, it's taught you something, and you'll get something out of this. And hopefully one day soon you'll order you a copy online and get you the same copy of this book. And you can do your own notes and apply it to your writings, or whatever project it is you're doing that involves writing, being a creator of something. This book will help you. To all of us writers out here and out there to the world. They tell you to fear not. We're going to get through it all together with the fun games and with all the bad guys and villains and heroes turning corrupted and friends losing friendship, relationships falling apart. People's business are going down here. They're hitting the all is lost mark. It gives you a brief example of that as well. Um, you're welcome, David. So y'all's day been turning out pretty smoothly for y'all? Did y'all have a great weekend? Was it sun shining, raining? It rained a little bit, but not much. It's pretty much hot and sunny. Nice weather, man. So basically your midpoint, basically all it does, it marks the middle of your novel with other false defeat or false victory, in case y'all again forgot what the part of section we were studying last week on was the midpoint. That's what the midpoint is. It marks the middle of your novel with either false or defeat or false victory, while at the same time raising the stakes of your story. That's what the midpoint is. In case you got confused on that. It jumps to certain sections. It's just the way this book does. And if you take notes, that'll help you keep up with it. Also, it's better. Keeps you more organized, balanced. I got my places marked from where I'd studied. Got them all marked in there. It'd look better if I have quotes like for writers or something inspiration. Bookmarks. I'm eventually working on getting them very soon. And I use receipts to mark my spots so I don't forget where I'm at. And that's it. I'll say the cat writes a novel on all those lost and the dark night of the soul. So I hope you all enjoyed that so far. And always remember to believe in yourself. Can't do anything, you can't create anything if you don't start loving yourself enough and believing in yourself. And have people that's loyal to your channel, that's your friend that also believes in you. And believe that you can and you will succeed in life. But that's about it. It's about the wrap up of this live stream. Hope you all have a great Tuesday. He's doing great. Awesome. My prayers go out to Ric Flair and to all the fans out there that love him. I hope he's getting well and is not suffering or in too much pain. That's good to hear about Ric Flair. Prayers and thoughts go out to all the fans and to the Flair family and to Ric Flair himself. And if you all enjoyed this live stream, you like discussion, say the cat writes a novel, we're going to go through it until I complete this whole book. Slowly getting there, but we're getting there. Feel free to give me thumbs up. Any questions that you have concerning this live stream, feel free to leave them below the comments at the end of the live stream, or if you come in, leave them on in the live stream box. I'll text you in just a little bit. And that wraps it up, guys. You all enjoy your Tuesday evening. And God bless all. Bye now. Bye. Hugs to you all, friends.